Hi ladies, I hope you're having a beautiful Friday. I know that I was supposed to do this video at 3 p.m. today, but my schedule has changed a lot in the past couple weeks and I'm still trying to figure out how things work and when to schedule them and all of this stuff. So I just want to apologize for changing the time, but I wanted to make sure I got this video out to you because I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of you, because those of us that have adrenal fatigue, that have been struggling with adrenal fatigue or really other health conditions, sleep is huge. It's a huge problem. We're not sleeping well, whether it's having trouble falling asleep or having trouble staying asleep, whatever it may be. We're not getting a good quality of sleep. And really what that does is it sets us up for a continuous cycle of being tired and stressed and anxious and depressed. And so the less you're sleeping, the more those things are going to affect you, because lack of sleep causes stress, and then because you're already stressed out from not sleeping, then you're more stressed out throughout the day and other things affect you, and you're really just not able to handle your life as good as you could if you were getting a good quality night's sleep. So I wanted to talk to you all about why you're having trouble sleeping or why you may be having trouble sleeping, and then give you some tips, 5 tips that you can implement to start sleeping better immediately. Well, a lot of these tips are going to take a little time, and I'll talk about that a little more as we go. So the first thing that may be affecting your sleep is hormonal imbalances. And so if you've watched any of my other videos, then you know that hormonal imbalances is very common in those of us with adrenal fatigue. And so you may be experiencing those imbalances. Cortisol, as you know, should generally be low at night so you can go to sleep, and then it should be high in the morning to wake you up. But depending on what stage of adrenal fatigue you're in, how long you've been stressed out, you could be experiencing high cortisol at night and low cortisol in the morning. So you're wired at night and having trouble sleeping, and then in the morning you're waking up tired and groggy. The other side of that is if you've already reached burnout phase, there's a very good chance that your cortisol has tanked. And so it's weird because it actually might be higher early in the morning. And so that's for those of you that are waking up, at 2 or 3 in the morning and can't go back to sleep. Oftentimes it's because our cortisol is rising too early in the morning and it's waking us up. Also, estrogen dominance and low progesterone can really affect your sleep, because progesterone is responsible for really calming us down. And so when we're experiencing estrogen dominance and low progesterone, we just aren't able to really calm our bodies. And so again, if you've watched my other videos, you know that estrogen dominance and low progesterone is very common in women with adrenal fatigue, because they actually, your body steals the pregnenolone that is used to make cortisol, progesterone, and DHEA. It actually steals it from making the progesterone, and it focuses on just making the cortisol. So it results in the low progesterone, which again may be affecting your sleep. Another reason you may not be sleeping is because your blood sugar is rising early in the morning and it's waking you up. So cortisol and insulin often go hand in hand. I've talked about how cortisol actually dumps glucose into your bloodstream. So if your cortisol is getting high too early in the morning, then so is your blood sugar and so is your insulin. So that can cause you to wake up too soon and really not get enough sleep. And then another reason is that can cause hormonal imbalances is not eating enough. So if you are practicing calorie restrictions, food restrictions, stuff like that, you may not be getting enough nutrients, you may not be getting enough food, and that can also cause hormonal imbalances. So it's very common in women who have bulimia or anorexia or eating disorders like that to have hormonal imbalances. Oftentimes they lose their cycle or they have an irregular cycle, but it also will affect their sleep as well. Another reason that you may not be sleeping well is because of caffeine or alcohol. So this is probably something you've heard before. This probably isn't anything new to you, but I think a lot of us overlook this because caffeine, we rely on it. We're counting on it to give us energy, and it's not really giving us energy anymore. You know, we've become so tolerant to it that we drink it and we think it doesn't affect us. And in a way, you're right, it doesn't affect us in the way we want it to, but it still will prevent you from falling asleep. So if you're having a coffee at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to try to get the energy boost to make it through the rest of your day, that could be sabotaging your sleep at night. Even though you may still feel tired and all of that, it can still affect you from falling asleep. And then alcohol, a lot of us turn to alcohol to help us sleep. It helps us fall asleep, but the problem is that you don't really get into a deep sleep. It disrupts your sleep cycle, and so you find that you're waking up too early, or maybe you're tossing and turning throughout the night, and you're really not just getting into that deep REM sleep that you need, and so that can really affect you. So that's a big one if you are consuming alcohol before bed to try to fall asleep. You may want to look at cutting back. Maybe you're counting on wine. Maybe cut back to just 1 glass. Maybe have it a little earlier at night, or whatever it may be. But you're really going to want to avoid having alcohol before bed. Another reason that you may be experiencing trouble sleeping is an electrolyte imbalance. So magnesium especially, but also potassium is really important for you to have enough of in order to get proper sleep. So magnesium, low magnesium can cause higher levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Magnesium is really, it plays a part in regulating your cortisol production and also your body's stress response and all of the hormones that play a part in those stress responses. So magnesium is a big one. So if you're deficient in it, you can be experiencing sleep problems. And then also potassium. So potassium hasn't really been proven study-wise as affecting sleep, but if your potassium channels are damaged or something like that, you may be experiencing trouble staying asleep. So potassium really plays a role in that. Another reason that you may be having trouble sleeping is blue lights. So you've probably heard this before, that you should not be watching TV on your phone, on your computer, or anything like that before bed. And really it's because it disrupts the production of melatonin, which is the hormone used to help us fall asleep, to really put our bodies into that sleep mode. So it disrupts that production. So really, if you're watching TV in bed, or you're playing on your phone in bed, reading, surfing the net, whatever it may be, then chances are you're disrupting your melatonin production. And then the last one is the last reason is having excess stress, anxiety, and depression. And so this is very common in people with adrenal fatigue. They tend, of course, you have stress, that's a given, but you also are probably experiencing anxiety and depression. And so those can really affect your ability to fall asleep. It really, if you're worrying a lot and you've got the racing thoughts and all of that, then it can be disrupting your sleep. So these are all things that that I've experienced, not so much with the alcohol, but definitely caffeine. I was relying on caffeine. I had severe hormonal imbalances, so low cortisol, low progesterone, all of that. So what I found was happening to me is I was actually on both sides of the spectrum. So at first it started with me having trouble falling asleep. But as time went by, it really just started affecting my ability to stay asleep. I was waking up several times throughout the night, and a lot of times I would wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. And then I would have to go through my entire day with only sleeping a few hours, and repeat the cycle all over again. So I have managed to come out of that, and I sleep really well right now. And that's what I really want to help you guys with. I really want to help you guys get quality sleep so you can really start focusing on the things that are going to help you feel better and really focus on the healing portion of your journey. And sleep is really, sleep and stress reduction, stress management are really key to that. So my first tip to you to help improve your sleep is to develop a nighttime routine. And I've talked about this before in some of my other videos about a nighttime routine. And this is really going to be specific to what helps you. But it's really important that you prepare your body for sleep and that you are triggering your mind to know that it's time to calm down, it's time to relax, and it's time to go to sleep. So developing a routine, your body will get used to the routine. And once you start doing these things over and over and over again, your body will start preparing you for sleep because it'll recognize that these are the things you do before you go to bed. So that could be really anything that's going to relax your body and mind. So that could be, let's see. So that could be meditation. And I highly recommend meditation, mindfulness meditation, where you're focusing on your breath, breathing in and out, and really just putting that as your main focus. And every time your mind wanders, go back to the breath. And that really just calms your nervous system, relaxes your body, and also it calms your mind and it helps control some of those racing thoughts. You could try deep breathing. Deep breathing is really helpful. It can also help you reduce anxiety. So if you're feeling anxious, then I highly recommend you try this. And basically what you do for deep breathing, and there's lots of different techniques, but this one is definitely known to calm your central nervous system and really help with anxiety and stress and worry, and really help you kind of like relax your body and calm your body. And so what I recommend is that you breathe in for 7 counts, breathe out for hold for 7 counts, breathe out for 7 counts, and hold for 7 counts, and do 3 cycles. So 3 times you'll do that, and 3 or 4 times. I really wouldn't do it more than that. So you'll breathe in, hold for 7, breathe out, and hold for 7. Breathe in for 7, hold for 7, breathe out for 7, hold for 7. And just by doing that, the 2 times I did it, I already feel more relaxed. I already feel calmer. So it's definitely something I recommend that you try, especially those of you that really suffer with anxiety. Really, that breathing exercise will help you a lot. I highly recommend it. And then you can also try self-massage. That can be really relaxing and helpful for you. I always recommend a warm bath with Epsom salt and essential oils. You could diffuse essential oils, so the ones that are really known to calm and relax you, such as lavender, jasmine, even peppermint can help, and just really diffuse those, or put it on something and put it under your pillow, something so that you're breathing it in, and that can really help you as well, help you relax. My second tip is to take magnesium and potassium. So a lot of us get enough potassium and magnesium in our diets, but most of us don't. We may get enough potassium, but not enough magnesium. It just really depends on what you're eating, what your diet is. So if you're eating a lot of processed foods, you're not eating a lot of whole foods, then you could be low in magnesium and potassium. So my recommendation is to get your magnesium either through Epsom salts. So that could be, again, in a bath or a foot soak. Or you can drink, there's this elixir called Calm that is a magnesium drink that you can drink before bed. Or you can take a supplement that can help as well. And you'll want to take these at night. And really, magnesium activates the parasympathetic system and can help you relax and fall asleep, and can help stabilize your mood as well. And then potassium can help you stay asleep. So really, if you're eating a lot of leafy greens and avocados, then you're probably good on your potassium and probably good on your magnesium, but it still can be helpful to take it at night. My third tip is to create a hospitable environment for sleep. So this is keeping your bedroom quiet, dark, and cool. So I recommend, having your air conditioning on or have a fan on, something that's going to keep the bedroom cool. You'll sleep a lot better with the room cool than if you have it hot. You'll want to, like I said, make sure that your room is really dark. So any lights, you're going to want to make sure that you cover them or you unplug things. For me, my goodness, we have one of those outlet things, outlet adapters that has like the different plugs, and then it's got some USB, and there's this bright green light that just shines out of it. And so what I've had to do is cover it with a black t-shirt, and I keep it like that so I don't have any light disturbing my sleep. And of course, you want the environment to be quiet. You may find it helpful, again, to have a fan running, not just to keep you cool, but also for the white noise, or using like a sound machine or an app that will do sounds. So that can be really helpful as white noise as you're falling asleep, and really keeping any distractions out of your bedroom. My fourth tip is to stay away from screens. So I talked about blue lights, but really you want to stay away from the screens an hour before bed. So I highly recommend reading or doing some other thing that will listening to music or whatever it is that you need to do before bed. But really getting away from the screens an hour before bed is huge. So if you're one of those people that you watch TV in bed, you may find that is causing issues falling asleep. It also keeps your mind active too, which you really want to reduce the amount of activity that the lights, basically it keeps your mind active and your eyes active. And then my last one is to fight the desire to nap. I know that this is going to be difficult for a lot of you. because you're depending on your naps to really get you through. You're probably super tired and low energy and all of that, and so you take a nap to try to get some extra energy to make it through the rest of the evening, make dinner for your family, and get done all of the things that you need to get done. I totally get it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with napping. You just want to limit it to 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes tops, because if you sleep any longer than that, first of all, you're going to wake up feeling really groggy, and second of all, it is going to make it more difficult for you to fall asleep. So really keep your naps to a minimum. Also, if you're experiencing drowsiness after eating dinner, you really want to avoid falling asleep on the couch, because what you'll find is, and probably many of you experience this on a regular basis, is you fall asleep on the couch watching TV or whatever it is because you're super drowsy after you eat, and then you wake up to go to bed and then you can't fall back asleep. And so then you're struggling and you spend a couple hours just trying to get back to sleep. So I highly recommend that if you are one of those people that gets super drowsy after dinner, that you do some kind of light activity like doing the dishes or do laundry or something that is going to keep your mind active some, but not too active. You don't want to do any like crazy exercise or anything, but just something that's going to keep you from falling asleep on the couch. So all of these tips are going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. It is going to take some time, especially the nighttime routine. It's something that you need to do for a couple weeks before your body's really going to get used to it, and it's going to recognize, okay, now it's time to prepare for sleep. So just be patient with them. Make it a routine. Make it something that you do every night. Really try to fall asleep or go to bed at the same time every night and wake up the same time. Really keep a schedule. I know it's hard, especially, when you've got so much going on and you're busy, or, that extra whatever half-hour sleep is so tempting, but really keeping a consistent sleep schedule will really help you out, and just have some patience with all of these things. I really do believe that they will help if you implement them regularly. If you guys have any questions at all, please put them in the comment box below. I will go back and I will answer them. I also help my clients with their sleep, improving their sleep using these tips, and also diet is a huge one as well. So if this is something that you're struggling with, that you just don't want to have to worry about anymore, this is something I love to help people with. So I will put a link to my calendar below so you can schedule a free mini coaching session with me so we can really identify what is keeping you from sleeping, what is keeping you stuck, what is preventing you from feeling better, and really help you visualize what your life can be like if you weren't experiencing all of these things, and really give you a step-by-step roadmap to help you get to where you're feeling better and feeling great. So thank you all for watching. Again, I'm sorry that this is happening at a different time and it's a recorded video instead of live, but I really wanted to get this information out to you guys, and I hope that you all have a beautiful weekend and that you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all next time. Thank you so much.